Sora's reflection showed a beautiful woman with porcelain skin and dark eyes, but in the mirror's depths, 9 silver tails flickered behind her human disguise. She'd lived for centuries as a gumiho, a fox spirit haunting the Korean mountains, feeding on the life force of unwary mortals. Ancient legends whispered of how a gumiho could ascend to greater power through devouring human livers, growing stronger with each kill. No tales spoke of becoming human, only of eternal hunger and deception. The fox's nature was to trick, to seduce, to consume without remorse. Each of her 9 tails marked a century of cunning survival. To sustain her form and magic, she required the vital energy of men, drawn out through illusion and betrayal. Tonight, Sora would claim another victim. The scholar's cottage sat alone on the mountain's edge, candlelight flickering through paper windows. Jae-hoon spent his evenings copying ancient texts, isolated from the village below. Ideal prey for a predator who thrived on solitude. Sora approached his door as rain began to fall. She'd watched him for days, noting his routines, his isolation. He was bookish, unworldly, the type to fall for a mysterious woman's charms without question. "Please," she said when he opened the door, her handbag soaked through. "I've lost my way in the storm." His eyes widened at her unearthly beauty. Fox magic made her features irresistible, her voice like silk. Beneath the glamour, her instincts sized him up as nothing more than sustenance. Jae-hoon invited her inside, offering tea and a place by the fire. As he turned away, Sora's eyes flashed golden. Her claws extended briefly before retracting. Maintaining the human shape demanded focus, but the reward would be his liver, rich with life energy. "What brings you to these mountains?" he asked, captivated by her presence. "I'm searching for something vital," she replied, her words laced with double meaning. In the days that followed, Sora embedded herself in his life. She assisted with his scholarly work, reciting forgotten texts from her vast, supernatural memory. She prepared meals, though she secretly craved raw flesh and blood, forcing down human food to maintain the ruse. She mimicked interest in his stories, though fox spirits felt no true emotion, only the drive to hunt. Jae-hoon grew enchanted, blind to the subtle signs. Her aversion to iron utensils, the way animals fled the cottage, the faint glow in her eyes during moments of hunger. One evening, as they shared a meal, her control slipped. She snatched a falling morsel with unnatural speed. Jae-hoon stared, unsettled. "How did you—" Jae-hoon started with awe. "Just quick hands," she said smoothly, but inside, her hunger stirred. That night, her reflection betrayed fox ears. In the morning, Jae-hoon found silver fur on his mat, but dismissed it as from a wild animal. The fox's patience waned. Soon she would strike, drawing out his life force in the dead of night. Ancient Korean texts described the gumiho as relentless demons, born from foxes who lived 1,000 years. Sora had pored over forbidden scrolls and hidden shrines, learning the ways of her kind. No path to humanity existed, only endless cycles of predation. To feed, a gumiho would seduce her victim, then consume his liver while he lived, or suck his energy through a mystical fox bead placed in a deep kiss. The act granted power, allowing the spirit to live another century unchallenged. Sora had left trails of victims across the centuries. Young men vanished from villages, their bodies found drained, organs missing. Always the isolated ones, scholars, wanderers, those who wouldn't be missed quickly. Whispers in the texts mentioned fox hunters, shamans who knew the signs. One name recurred, Master Kim, a veteran exorcist who'd slain dozens of spirits with iron blades and sacred incantations. He used mirrors to reveal true forms, dogs to track them, and fire-blessed needles to pierce their illusions. He was coming. Sora sensed the shift in the mountain winds, the unnatural silence of the forest. Prey animals scattered, as if fleeing a greater threat. 3 weeks into her deception, omens appeared. Livestock vanished from the valley. Villagers reported eerie lights in the woods, and a seductive woman glimpsed near the trees. Master Kim arrived on a stormy dawn, his mule laden with iron tools and talismans. Aged but unyielding, His eyes held the fire of one who'd faced the supernatural and prevailed. He interrogated villagers about disappearances, strange behaviors, and unnatural beauties. The clues pointed upward to the scholar's remote cottage. Sora spied from afar as the shaman scoured the paths. He uncovered fox tracks, morphing into human prints, claw marks on bark, and shimmering silver hairs that defied natural light. The hunt intensified. By day, Sora maintained her facade with Jaehoon, feigning companionship while plotting his end. Her senses tracked the shaman's approach, but she couldn't strike openly without risking exposure. At night, she prowled the woods in partial fox form, considering ambushing the hunter. But shamans were wily, protected by wards. Killing him might alert the village, spoiling her meal. The trap closed. Jaehoon's growing obsession made him vulnerable, but the shaman's presence forced her hand. She would feed soon before interference. Hidden in the shaman's scrolls, which Sora glimpsed from the shadows, were the full methods of Gumiho extermination. Iron to burn their flesh, mirrors to shatter illusions, incantations to bind their spirits. One evening, as Sora prepared to strike, her fox speed ready to drain Jaehoon's energy in a false embrace, the scholar noticed anomalies. Her teeth too sharp, her movements too fluid, her eyes reflecting light like a beast's. "Sora," he said warily, "something about you feels wrong." Her mask held, but tension built. "Nonsense, come closer." Master Kim burst from the tree line, iron needles in hand, glowing with sacred runes. His arrival was timed by instinct, honed over decades. "Back away, scholar," the shaman bellowed. "That's no woman, it's a fox demon." Jaehoon froze, caught between enchantment and dawning fear. He clutched a strand of silver fur he'd collected. "Who are you?" "A hunter of your kind's bane," Master Kim snarled at Sora. "Reveal yourself, Gumiho. Show him the tails and fangs." The air thickened with malice. Sora's glamour faltered under the shaman's glare, claws emerging, eyes turning amber. "It's true?" Jaehoon gasped, horror replacing infatuation. The word Gumiho echoed like a curse. Sora snarled, dropping her disguise. 9 silver tails lashed in the firelight, her form shifting to something feral and terrifying. "Yeah, you fool," she hissed at Jaehoon. "You were mere food." Master Kim hurled an iron needle, striking her shoulder. It burned like acid, forcing a yelp. "She's here to devour your liver, boy. That's their way. Seduce and slaughter." Sora lunged, claws extended, but the shaman chanted a binding spell, roots from the earth twisting to snare her tails. Jaehoon, now fully awake from the spell, grabbed a nearby mirror as instructed by the shaman. He held it up, reflecting her true, monstrous shape back at her. The Gumiho recoiled, weakened by the revelation. "Demons like you have no place among humans," Master Kim declared, advancing with more needles. "Your kind brings only death and deception." Sora thrashed against the bindings, her power ebbing. Traditional wards held firm, iron piercing her form, the mirror fracturing her magic. In a final bid, she tried to summon foxfire, illusory flames to distract. But the shaman's incantations doused them, and he drove a blessed blade into her core. Jaehoon watched in terror as the Gumiho's body convulsed, her 9 tails dissolving into mist. With a piercing shriek, Sora's spirit fled back to the mountains, weakened but not destroyed, doomed to regenerate and hunt another day, far from human settlements. The scholar survived, scarred by the encounter, a warning to others. Ancient Gumiho legends teach that fox spirits are eternal tricksters, embodiments of danger and temptation. They cannot be redeemed, only repelled or banished. In Korea's folklore, vigilance against such creatures preserves the boundary between human and monster. Whispers persist of fox demons lurking in the shadows, waiting for the next isolated soul. Subscribe to delve deeper into the dark tales where predators meet their match through cunning and courage.